Come on over to the place where I was, and all your loneliness I'll try to soothe. I'll play the blues for you. Don't be afraid. Come on in. You might run across, yeah, some of your old friends. All your loneliness I've got to soothe. I'll play the blues for you. Come on in. Sit right here. Let's rap a while. You see, I'm kind of lonely too. And loneliness is a very bad thing if you let it get the best of you. That loneliness can get you down, you know. Yeah. Are you comfortable now? Yeah. That's how I say. Yeah. As I was saying before, loneliness can get you down. And I have heard of loneliness blowing some good people's mind, you know? But you can't do that. This is a big world. It's a big world. There's too many nice things.
Well, good evening, Blues Cats and Kitties. It's your boy, Southside Slim, in the house again. Looking forward to another great show. Here I am. Y'all know my motto, Let's Talk Blues. Dedicated to old school blues and artists true to the blues with the inclination to play jazz and beyond. And I'm happy and I'm blessed to be here at the station, you guys. So, once again, I got a wonderful guest tonight, Mr. Clem Pennington. I mean, this man is an unsung hero, and I respect this man, and I like to give respect where respect is due. Because at 77, the man he's still, you know, pioneering on with his music career, and I'm just happy to have him. He's in the studio right now as we speak. So I want to thank you guys for all tuning in. I'm kind of, I've still got the blues, y'all. I am definitely got the blues. That's why I have my shades on so you guys can't really see the blues. Peekaboo. Anyway. So I got a great show lined up for you tonight, but I got a few calls, people saying, Slim, man, you ain't been playing the blues, baby. So I'm going to straighten that out for you. So we're going to get back into that. So we'll be back in a minute. In the meantime, enjoy some blues, y'all. Thank y'all for showing me love. Let's talk blues, baby.
Tip. I love the top. I love you better than hard love slop, 'cause you're a big leg woman with a short mini skirt. Promise me, darling, never make me feel like dirt. Goes around the stump. You are mine. Call it sugar lump, 'cause you're a big leg woman with a short mini skirt. Promise me, darling, never make me feel like that. I told you once, I told you twice, we go together like red beans and rice, 'cause you're a big leg woman with a short mini skirt. All right, promise me, darling, never make me feel like that. Listen, my woman, I'm gonna hurt your fuss, cause she's a big leg woman with a short jaw minute skirt. Promise me, darling, never make me feel like that. I love my big leg woman. 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 She's alright. 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 She's Well, I'm told down, I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I'm told down, I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Well, I went to the river to jump in. My baby showed up and said, I will tell you when. Well, I'm told I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. A love like mine will never grow old. I love you in the morning and in the evening too. But every time you leave me, I get mad with you. Well, I'm told I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. I love you, baby, with all my might. A love like mine is out of sight. I lie for you if you want me to. I really don't believe your love is true. Well, I'm told I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel like this when my baby can't be found. Oh, well, I'm told I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I'm told I'm almost level with the ground. Oh, I feel separate this way. We've been together so long to have to separate this way. I'm gonna let you go head on now, baby. Pray that you come back home someday. You said you once still love me, but now I guess you've changed your mind. You said you once still love me, but now I guess you've changed your mind. Why don't you reconsider, baby? Give yourself just a little more time.
And so for all you cats out there that were saying, Slim, you slipping. You ain't playing the blues. Well, that's the blues right there, y'all. And, I guess you guys can probably tell by my spirit level that I do have the blues tonight, for real, I don't want to get all into it, but, I got pain in my heart, but it's all good. Some of us just have to go through it to get to it. I guess I'm just that catalyst for you all, because you guys are looking at a man with the blues right now with a broken heart and all that kind of mushy stuff. But it's all good, So anyway, next week I got a great artist coming in, Ben Classworthy. You want to check that show out. I got Lucky Otis coming up in the near future. That's going to be all right. And don't forget, I'll be at Roscoe Seabird Jazz Lounge this month on the 30th. And I'm having a jam session for all those guys who think you can hang, and guys and girls and singers coming out and show some love for me at Roscoe Seabird Jazz Lounge this Friday, not this Friday, but Friday, September 30th. And, of course, the next week I'm going to Texas to throw down with... the one and only Canadian hardcore rock and roll group, Zedhead. That's going to be all right. That should boost up my spirits. I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget, you guys, buy my book. If you want to know my story, you can always check it out. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, the blues is what it is, man. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes sometimes you walk straight, sometimes you spin around, but whatever the case is, you got to go through it to get to it. And so right now we're going to get back to some more blues, and we'll be right back with my guest, Mr. The one and only, a man who I admire, Mr. Clem Pennington. All right, so in the meantime, right back, y'all, more blues. Let's talk blues, baby. Darling, but you got 2 minutes driving at the wheel. Now listen here, baby, you can't do this to me. You said you had 1 driver, now you got about 2 or 3. Oh, baby, let me ride in your automobile, 'cause I know you got a good little car.
daytime. You got about to drive tonight, 'cause it ain't no new driver gonna treat your little car right. Oh, baby, just let me ride in your automobile. 'Cause I know you got a good little car, darling, but you got 2 minutes drive at the wheel. Checked your battery, you know your heart wouldn't blow. Oh, baby, just let me ride in your automobile. 'Cause I know you got a good little car, darling, but you got 2 minutes drive at the wheel. You said you want to know, baby, know the way I feel. Then put one arm around me, put the other on the wheel. Oh, baby, let me ride in your automobile. 'Cause I know you got a good little car, darling, but you got 2 minutes riding at the wheel. And baby, 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 when that watch is stopped, you better be through, or you better have a darn good explanation. Don't you gonna get whooped all on the toenails. We're gonna raise your eyelashes and whoop you some. And if you run fast enough, we're gonna whoop you on the bottom of the feet. Ain't that right, men? Speak up for yourself. There will be no more going to the laundromat, putting your clothes in there, and getting your girlfriend to keep an eye on it while you slip out the back door. You better take my advice. You might need it on your vacation this summer. I'd hate to see you come up with a leg screwed off or an eye punched out. Yeah. to you. Hey, I know you don't know it, babe, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on you. Well, every time you go to the laundromat, baby, I want you to know that I'll be there too. For bad luck, you know I wouldn't have no luck at all. Hard luck and trouble been my only friend. I've been on my own ever since I was 10. Born on a bad side, been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, you know I wouldn't have no luck at all. I can't read, I didn't learn how to write. My whole life has been one big fight. Born on the bad side, I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I said I wouldn't have no luck at all. That ain't no lie. Ow! You know, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no kind of luck. If it wasn't for real bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. You know, wine and women is all I crave. A big leg woman gonna carry me to my grave. Born on the bad side, I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I tell you I wouldn't have no luck at all. Yeah, I'm a bad luck boy. Been having bad luck all of my days, yeah.
The commercial now.
Down here at the Seabird Jazz Lounge.
Now, yeah, I know I must have the blues, but I forgot to mention my opening quote. Good evening, blues, cats, and kitties. Welcome to another episode. Well, I want to welcome a good friend of mine, the one and only Mr. Clem Pennington, and it's only fitting that I have a most distinguished gentleman on the show, because how else can I get over my blues unless I have someone that went through the blues and more than many more times than myself, and still standing. And I want to introduce the one and only Mr. Clem Pennington.
How we doing, Harry?
How
Good
you
to
doing,
see you,
Clem?
man.
Thank you
Feeling
for coming
good.
through, man. Thank you for coming
Hey,
through,
thank you
brother.
for having me on the show, man.
Yeah, well, you know, if anybody knows,
Pleasure being here.
if anybody knows the blues, that I got the blues more than anybody right now is you.
Yeah, some fun.
Right.
Absolutely, for sure.
And so, Clem, you know, one of the reasons why I have you on the show, man, because you know you're one of those cats that's behind the scenes that do work for big artists and never really get the recognition that you probably should be receiving. And I just had to show some love by having you on here, and it's just a pleasure to have you with
I
me.
appreciate that. I really do.
Where you from, Mr. Pennington?
Well, originally I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri, and my grandmother brought my mother and I out here back in '45. That's when we got here, and they went to work for, naturally, the war machine, you know, making tires and all that kind of stuff. But I got introduced to my music through my church.
Okay.
And my grandmother put me in Baptist church as soon as we hit here.
Okay.
And I was doing Bible scriptures and singing with the youth choir, and it felt good. God gave me the voice.
Right.
He gave, and thank God He's still giving it to me to the day.
He also gave you the rhythm of percussion.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that
'Cause that's why I
you were associated with Willie Bobo.
And Willie, I used to play with Willie Bobo. I don't know if you remember Hayes's place over on Adams and Western. It was after our spot. But that's how I got to meet Willie. I was over there because it opened up at 1:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Stayed open until the next morning. That's where all the entertainers went. Out of the Club Alabama, the Club Alabama, Zebra Lounge, Memory Lane. When we'd get off at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, we'd all meet over there.
After hours.
And jam on until the sun coming
Wow.
up.
Those were the
you talking
days,
about-
man.
Oh, man, you talking about in Central Avenue? Oh, Central Avenue, you know, man, that was the spot.
I know, man.
That
I know.
was the
That was the
spot.
spot, man. Plus I used to be a babe to Ricky's Blues Club on 59th and Central. But that was just a small part. You were back there in the real heydays.
Yeah, I mean, it was, well, I was, you know, when the Lincoln Theater was a theater,
All right.
then they turned it to a music hall,
Right.
and we got to
right.
perform there, you know. So it's, God has been really good to me through my life. And not only that, on top of all with my music, I was still going to school.
Right.
So I was still getting an education also,
Right.
and which paid off in the end.
Yeah, you played it smart.
In the end.
Remember that, kids? Stay in school.
Absolutely.
No matter what you do,
Stay in school.
you know, there's always work at the post office. Can you dig it? You know?
Absolutely.
So always get a backup, you know. And so yeah, man, you know, that song by the Drifters, Under the Boardwalk.
Under the Boardwalk,
Now I
yeah.
understand you play percussions on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Another in the background keeping the beat.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously they had that Puerto Rican flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, brought to you through a spiritual
Yeah.
means to
Yeah.
Willie, and you know, as a matter of fact, let's just for you people that never heard that song Under the Boardwalk. We're gonna see if we can get a little bit. LaRon, could you cue up a little bit of that Under the Boardwalk? It's about the Drifters. So let's do it. We'll be back in a minute, y'all. Mr. Clem Pennington, which is just an honor for me because the man is just kind of like being a father figure to me right now because he know I got the blues and
Hey,
I have
That's
to
what he
at least
put
I'm
us
with
here
somebody
for.
that I respect enough to be bluesy in front of. All right? So we'll be back in a minute after give you a taste of what you might have not heard of if you from a different era in life. But his songs last forever, and this was a hit song. So let's check it out. Let's talk blues, baby. Back in a minute.
Oh, if the sun is down and the town on the roof, and your shoes are so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket, my baby.
I see Under the Boardwalk.
Yes, yes.
I mean, that was a painful song to me, man, because Under the Boardwalk, we were making love. You know, it breaking my heart to think about that.
Yes, yes.
You know, but sometimes
time.
you gotta swallow it. You gotta swallow it and move on, man. You
Yes,
know.
yes.
So that was all right, man. You know, like the bass and the drums is really what keeps the backbeat. And thank God you had that backbeat to keep the beat for
That
them. You know,
rhythm.
that
That
original
bounce,
percussion.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
bounce.
How did you end up working with them, man, and meeting other guys?
Well, there it is. I started with Jimmy McVeigh and the Savoys. And Jimmy McVeigh, I met him at Point Magoo, Amherst Testing, when I was in the Navy. And he was a technician out there. And he was a piano player. And he heard me sing, because I was singing with these 4 Marines I was with. And he started talking to me and said, look, man, I want you to get involved. And I told him, well, I'm a drummer, because in boot camp, I seen them guys carrying rifles around, and I seen the drum and bugle corps, and I say, hey, how do you get in that? And they said, no, they say, go over to Barracks 24 on Monday morning. They have auditions every Monday. I said, okay. So I went over there, and the drum major, he gave me a sheet of music, said, can you play that? And he said, you in. I mean, man.
Just like that.
It just
like that.
Yeah. Because that's what I'd done all my life, was played on pots and pans, and then my grandmother finally brought me a trap set.
Finally got it for you.
And finally got it for me.
She believed in you.
Absolutely.
It's nice to have
Always
somebody
did.
believe in you.
Oh,
That's
you have to.
That's what really helps you out, man, having someone to believe in you.
You have to.
That's all we need is someone to believe in us.
Absolutely.
All right? So believe in them kids when they want an instrument.
Absolutely.
My mom regrets the fact that I wanted a guitar in the 6th grade.
Okay.
And she never took me serious, and so she never got it for me.
All right.
And she always thinks to these days, baby, I wish I would have brought that guitar for you when you was in the 6th grade, because
Absolutely.
it might have been a little different. But
Yeah.
you just have to just take the path that you were given, and it wasn't meant for me to have it at the time, obviously, and so it's meant for me to do what I'm doing now. And so, what can I say?
Well, Harry, talking about, excuse me for cutting you off, but talking about that, my grandmother, I did her 90th birthday party at Hong Kong Garden Restaurant, and when I was coming off the stage, she looked at me because she was sitting on a chair, and she said, "You were supposed to be somebody." Man, she said that have stayed with me all my. But I mean, I've always got to that little point at the little silver ring, because, like I say, when I was at Point Magoo, I was singing with 4 Marines. And it was called 4+1.
Oh,
and we went to this 11th Naval District Talent Show in San Diego. They had 1,800 acts. They was taking the top 6 for the Ed Sullivan Show. Guess where we came in at? 7.
wow.
Guys from Edwards Air Force Base beat us out.
Wow.
But then, before when we qualified for that, I was told to go to Barracks 24, where I auditioned, for the drum and bugle. And I didn't know what for, and I got up there, I seen this long black limousine out there, and so I said, what's going on? So I walked in, and here's the 4 Marines that I was singing with. They were there, but Raymond Burr was there. You remember Raymond Burr?
Yeah, Raymond Burr, that big
Ironside?
Ironside, yeah.
Ironside, he was there. You know what he told us? He said, if you guys make the Ed Sullivan Show, I'll write your ticket. See, it's always been that. It's always been that way. My finger right at the gold ring.
Blessings, man, just
Yeah.
blessings.
Yeah.
And as y'all can know, I remember I met Jimi Hendrix limo driver when I first came here in the 80s, in the early 80s, and he told me one time, he said, young man, always dress the best you can, because you never know who you might meet.
That's right.
And as y'all can see, the man is sharp. He's always sharp. Let me check him out, man. The man is sharp. And when I go to his gigs over here at the Prime. What is Think Prime Rib, that you can find him every Friday night
Friday
doing his
and Saturday.
DJ. You want to dance to everything from Justin Timberlake to Earth, Wind and Fire to Prince to Michael Jackson. He does it all, man. He DJs and he has his box there and he does his thing, and you never know that it wasn't the whole band. It's Clem, because he has that voice, and
Thank you.
and so I enjoy going over there, man, and I'm looking forward to going back over there and doing something to you, listen to you again.
Absolutely.
Now, I first was introduced to you, man, through freelance journalist Melina Parrish, and she did that story for you for RON News, and I read about it, and I said, man, I got to have him on the show, man, because it's a great story. So if you're out there, Melina, I got your boy on the show, you know,
Thank you.
and it's because of your work. And she's a fantastic
Thank
journalist,
you.
and I'm glad that she introduced me to you.
Yeah, me too.
Now, you also did some drumming for the Spinners.
Yes.
Now, how
Yes.
does that occur?
That occurred through the same networking that I was doing with Jimmy McVeigh, and then once I got known for the Drifters, well, my name got out there, and you know I didn't get out there on contract, but they did like under the
Right.
under the table.
radar.
Come here, you know we need you,
Yeah.
because like I was saying, see I sung with 6 or 7 different groups, and back then, and it's probably the same way now, but this one's going with this one's wife, and this one's heroin, and this one's getting drugs, and
Yeah.
you know, and this one drinking too much, and it just got hectic, really
Yeah.
hectic, and that's why one of the reasons why I'm glad I stayed in school,
Right.
because I got to a point where that really got answered, because now I started working for Hughes Aircraft Company,
Right.
and I became a manager out there, and then what I'd do, I'd fly to Hughes on a Friday night, catch up with the guys in Texas, Chicago, do a gig, fly back in Los Angeles Monday morning, and be back at Hughes at 6 o'clock Monday morning. I did that for a year.
Wow. That's what you call a
I
serious
did it for a year.
workaholic. A serious workaholic, you know, no pain, no gain. You got to go through it to
fun.
get to it.
It was
you know,
fun.
and
Living
I-
out of a trunk.
well, you know, trust me, I understand. I understand, man. I understand all that, you know. And I know a lot of people. You know, there used to be a show called Soul Train. I know a lot of people. Y'all remember that out of it back in the day. A wonderful group, and a wonderful show, the Soul Train with Don Cornelius, the late great Don Cornelius, bless his heart, and I pulled up a little skit from one of the shows, and so for all of you who never heard of the Spinners, you know, and heard of their style, I want you guys once again to recognize this was the man that held that beat down, that unsung hero behind the curtains that actually, you know, supplied that backbone to the beat. And so, tell me, man, not only are you a fantastic singer and percussionist, you are also a wonderful human being.
Well, thank you.
And I've watched you do your thing, and I really admire the way you dress and your classy style. Now, who gave you the inspiration to always be sharp like that?
My grandmother. She was a seamstress. She was a tailor. She made all of our clothes. The groups I was singing with. She made a lot of the uniforms. I could ask my grandmother for something on a Monday, and I say, "Mama, we need some so and some outfits." When I'd come in from school on Friday, she say, "Look at your bed." I look at my bed and all these outfits laying out there. She say, "You think they'll like that?" I say, "Yeah." I said, "They sure will. You kidding me?"
Wow.
I mean, but she instilled with me, along with her friend, Mr. Neal. He was a sharp guy. You know, he was a gambler, but he was sharp with the gold teeth and always clean with a brim, you know, and cigar, and always in starch shirt and collar pin. I mean, to the nines. And I used to just sit there and look at him. So I had my example laid out there.
See what I'm saying, man? Ain't nothing better than a well-dressed man, because when I go to his show, the man's surrounded by women. I can't even find one. I thought I had one, but I ain't even got that. This man, 77 years old, man, don't look like he no more than 50. Got 25 women. But we're going to give you a little taste of how a backbeat is kept, and to give you a taste of some of the magic that he put in behind the scenes. So let's check this out, and we'll be right back with you with more Let's Talk Blues, y'all.
All right.
This is how I walk the road. Love's like
You know, man, that song is awful. That song is awesome, and
Yes,
that
indeed.
song speaks to me in a big way because
Absolutely.
I want my friend to know that I'll always be around if she
Yes.
ever changed her mind about the South Side.
Yes.
So look, man, that's what it's called, holding the beat.
That's it.
Now, people don't know that's the man playing percussions on that song. You would never know
That's right.
because you never met any of the musicians because they were a group.
Yep.
And you know, I know that the Spinners and the Drifters, they have that thing that the group is bigger than the
Then the one
than
person.
the one
than
person.
The individual.
And so, they really didn't talk about the musicians that much, but did you get a lot of work in the studios playing
Oh,
back in those
absolutely,
times?
for sure. I got a lot, and I got a lot with Jimmy McVeigh and the Savoys. I got a lot with Willie Bobo playing behind him, but when I was playing with Willie, see, he played trap sets, so I was playing bongos and congos. I played the whole percussion house, the whole side, bells, congos, bongos, timbales. Oh man, I just
Have you ever been to Cuba? Have you ever been to Cuba?
No.
Never had a chance to get over there. Huh?
Never been, no.
We think we can go now. I think.
Oh, yeah, we can.
I think they opened up the gates so we can go to Cuba now.
Well, I did I did 6 shows over in China.
Okay.
I did 3 in Beijing, 3 in Shanghai, and they all sold out,
Wow.
and they were absolutely phenomenal.
That's all right, man.
And that's with me and my music box.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's perseverance and like you said, when you were in the studio, whenever a person got sick, you took over.
I stood in because I sung first and second tenor.
And there's some other places you were sending playing locally around that I never heard of.
Well, I was at Hong Kong Gardens.
Hong Kong
Hong Kong Gardens over in Torrance, right there on Carson, Vermont, 13 years. I was at the Golden Lotus, which is over in Palos Verdes, right down by the ocean, where Admiral Aristides is.
Yeah.
Well, right across the parking lot. It was the Golden Lotus. It's a Trader Joe's now.
The Trader Joe's.
It's a Trader
wow,
Joe's.
Man.
And I was in there for 5 years.
That's real old school.
Yeah. and I was in there for 5 years. And it's just been one thing stepping right into another one. Then I've stepped from there, and I'm in Think Prime. And I've been there, going on 8 years? Almost 8 years now.
Wow, Think Prime.
And
That's
we're getting
all
ready
right.
to wind back up over at Hong Kong Gardens.
Okay.
We're remodeling that place now, so we're going to be opening that up. And if you like karaoke, want to come out and sing, come on out there on Carson in Vermont.
And they're going to love it because it's always packed out there. And whenever I go to Think Prime, it's always super packed. It's always just, the dance floor is just packed and Clem be doing his thing,
do
y'all.
have fun.
And that's every Friday night at the Think Prime. You can catch him there. Matter of fact, he'll be there this Friday night.
Every
Think
Friday and
Prime. And that's in Pacific
In Palos
Palisades.
Verdes.
So you can, if you want to dance, you want to have a good time, good music, good drinks, good food. You want to check that out and catch this original artist and definitely old school historian.
Yes.
You understand me? So now I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Johnny Morrison because Johnny Morrison is an old school DJ himself, and he contributed this blues tape to me. And I think people are probably wondering, why haven't you mentioned some of the blues names? Because I want you guys to figure out who those blues names are, and you call me and tell me who you think they were. That's why I tell you. Now, of course, you heard Albert King, and I know you know that was like kind of hard for me not to for you to remember that one, and Freddie King. But the other ones you probably never heard of. So you really want to know, you got to call in and let me know. And of course, you can call in if you want to at 323-965-1600 for any questions. If you're out there, we're here. So let's play a little bit of and I told Johnny I'll give him the shot. So let's play a little bit from that tape, Mr. Davidson, and let's get back to the blues. We'll be right back with the one and only Mr. Clem Pennington. Let's talk blues, baby.
Don't make sense for me to keep on fooling myself. 'Cause in my heart there's no room for no one else. That's why I don't have to call you to confirm my love. Won't be no need for conversation. There's gonna be no cancellation I'll wait patiently, 'cause my heart is your permanent home. Maybe my love, 'cause time has never changed. Never changed. Where love has prearranged. Yes, I've made a reservation. Oh, in my life. Oh, yeah. I said I've made a reservation. In my life for you. Oh, that's what I've done. That's why I've made a reservation.
If I reach out to you like a child would do, darling, don't let me down. I love you so, and I guess you know that I'm too far gone to turn around. If I give you my heart, please don't tear it apart. Don't treat me like dirt on the ground. Give me a break, for heaven's sakes, 'cause I'm too far gone to turn around. I'm too far gone for backing up now. Oh, Lord, I'm too far gone to stop. I'm flying high like a bird in the sky. Darling, don't let me drop. And I'm begging you, whatever you do, oh, don't turn my life upside down. I need you so. Now, I guess you know I'm too far gone to turn around. Lord, I'm too far gone for backing up now. Lord, I'm too far gone.
I want to dedicate that segment to Mr. Johnny Morrison, station manager, because he knew I had the blues, and he sure picked the right songs, Johnny. You know, help me with the blues, man. But thank God I have the master here to help me with the blues, because the man been through it. And so tell me, man, what is your secret to longevity and positivity that you have kept over these years that allowed you to persevere and be the most distinguished gentleman that you are?
Well, Eric, the one thing that I can tell you and your audience is the main thing, keep God in your life. You cannot get through this life without God in there. And I mean, not just off the top of your head, but I mean deep within your heart. because you're going to get pitfalls. You're going to run through mud. You're going to get some dirt on you. But by the same token, when you got your hand in his hand, he will cleanse you. And the thing about God's cleansing, it's not just water running over your outside. He cleans you from the inside out. He cleans you on your heart. He takes that broken heart and he puts his love around it.
Yes.
And trust me, once he wraps his love around it, that pain and that hurt, whatever you're going through at that particular time, that'll get you through it. And it won't get you through it just one time or two times. It'll get you through it 100, 1,000,000 times.
Wise words being spoken by a wise man. And definitely words that have not falling on ears that are not paying attention, because I'm definitely paying attention. So, Mr. Clem Pennington laying down the truth to all you people that want to know how this man could be 77 years old, still look so good, and still being positive. He just told you what to do to do it. Now, I want to see if we can close out this song. I want to dedicate this song to a special friend of mine, and she's listening. She knows who this is. Now, I didn't really know the song, but Clem just kind of hummed a few notes for me, so I'm going to try to play it for you, you know, so we're going to see what we can do.
This is our fork in the road, yeah. Love's last episode. There's nowhere to go. No, you made your choice. Now it's up to me, yeah. To bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Ooh, just what you say. Now I find out today, all the world just slipped away. But I know there's always a chance, a tiny spark will remain, yeah. Sparks turn into flames, and love can burn once again. But I know you know, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Yeah, take it. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Yeah, yeah. Whenever you call me, I'll be there.
I'll be here.
Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
I'll be around.
Oh, yes, we will. I'll be around.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Pennington.
Oh, baby.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Man, put me on the spot. Have you play a song? I never played that song before in my life. I want to thank you, man.
Sound good.
I want to give a good shout out to people. Don't forget my book, Trouble on His Sweetback Blues, the 12-bar story of Henry Harris Southside Slim. My DVD, Hot Love of Me So Strong.
Absolutely.
Southside All Stars. Next week, I'll be showing you where you can purchase these things. And like I said, don't forget to catch me at Roscoe Seabird Jazz Lounge on the 30th of September. And I'm going to Texas next week to play with Zed Head or the big Canadian rock group. I plan on rocking it out big time and getting a whole lot of other new fans.
Beautiful.
In the meantime, I want to thank you, Mr. Clem,
Oh, it's my pleasure,
for blessing
my
me
man.
with your
Thank
presence.
you. My pleasure.
Giving you respect where respect
Thank
is
you
due.
so much. Thank you.
And the man is true to the blues, all right?
Yes,
and
he
he's
is.
true to style. So until next week, y'all, Let's Talk Blues. Wish you nothing but peace and love. Thank you, Mr. Clint Payne.
Thank you, big man.
Until next week, y'all. Y'all know my motto. Born on the bad sign, baby.
Yes.
Let's Talk Blues, baby.
Born on a bad sign. Been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, you know I wouldn't have no luck at all. Hard luck and trouble been my only friend. I've been on my own ever since I was 10. Born on a bad side. Been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, you know I wouldn't have no luck at all. I can't read, I didn't learn how to write. My whole life has been one big fight.